you ready? Get up, get up. 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 Well, are you ready now?
Welcome to Flexi Friday, everybody.
Yep.
We have a special guest today, and we are so excited, like pumped out of our minds, to have Seth with us. And he's going to give kind of a little introduction, if you would.
Sure.
Kind of tell everybody about yourself, a little bit of background, what you do on the daily.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, Seth Wildung. I go by Wild Poo, Wildung, whatever it is.
I thought I saw that sign. I'm like, how do you say that name?
Yep.
I didn't want to say it out loud.
Did you get made fun in high school for that?
No, I was always a jock, so
That's it. He just beat the snot out of you.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, I grew up in a really small town. I was born in Plentywood, Montana, which is far northeast of Montana. The running joke is like the vet is who birthed me, or not birthed, my wife birthed me, but
really?
delivered me.
The vet.
Yeah. So.
Gosh.
That
is far east.
You know, it's as far as you can go.
Gosh, did you like growing up there though?
I haven't been back since I was born.
Yeah.
How small town?
Town of Stanford is 450 people.
It's small. We did a job at it's no.
Yeah.
So my town of 1,600 was small.
Yeah.
Right.
So 450 people. Moved there when we were 3. Stayed there my whole life. My parents are still there. It was just a good old small town America.
Yeah.
Drink cold beer, shoot guns, play football. Basketball is just a side product. You know, that's what I was best at. But
Yeah.
that's just kind of what we did.
You were better at basketball than football.
Much
Really?
better. Yeah.
Huh.
I was built to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
Then
Fair enough.
football just kind of grew on me. You watch those movies like Friday Night Lights, and like that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have to do anything. Go eat at restaurants, and like it was crazy. It was amazing.
Living life.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Huh.
So then graduated, and the class of 14, which was huge. I had 9 into my senior year, and then I went to Havre and played football there. I had a scholarship to play football there.
Oh, nice.
We were just talking about that. It was for quarterback, and then I don't know, like you said, the coach either said I was tough or stupid and moved the defense and blew my knee.
That's insane. How many people go from quarterback to defense?
Right.
Nobody.
So did that for 5 years, and then moved to Billings here, and that was 2011. I'm old. 2011 and got done, graduated. I wasn't even graduating school yet, and I got a job where I'm at now with my best friend Steve Forn. You guys met Steve a few times.
So,
Sure.
Yeah. So,
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Is that why you moved to Billings? Or?
yeah, so he called me and said, hey, I got a sweet gig. I was working at a dealership in Havre, and it was...
We're selling cars.
Really? I was inventory manager.
Inventory manager.
So,
Nice.
yeah, so I literally did nothing but sort tools.
Right.
Hey, go ahead. And so, got a call, came down, thought I was making a lot of money. The rest is history. Just been selling insurance for the last 9-10 years, and met my wife through the whole thing.
Right. No, you guys have 2 kids?
2 kids. Got a 4-year-old, just turned 4 yesterday, and then almost 19 months.
Wow.
So, yeah. Life goes fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I got these 2 are my first fur babies.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice. I like them.
That's awesome. How long did you have them for?
Denali's 8, and McKinley is 6. So, yeah, we've had
That's
for a
awesome.
while.
Love it.
Yeah, they're good.
Love everything about it.
That's just a quick, without any juicy details.
Yeah.
That's just a quick, hot and heavy. Like that's what I was. That's what I did. And, well, I'm sure we'll dive into the details of my story here later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
I love it. But now you're into CrossFit. So the transition from being a football player, star, whatever, to now doing CrossFit. Was that a weird transition, or was it kind of like I'm an athlete, was an athlete, still an athlete?
I thought it was going to be way smoother than it was.
Sure.
Kind of funny story. But I'll fast forward before I even got started. So we did my first ever competition in October. They called it the Pukey Bash.
Oh my gosh, where was
Love
that?
that.
It was right by the Metro's Alternative CrossFit there.
Oh yeah.
Clint is the owner there.
Yep.
And so went to that, and I was like, oh, I've been doing CrossFit for a couple years now. I got this. And I went and
Pukey Fest. The name.
yeah, the first workout was run a 400, and now that I know how to run a 400, like you pace it, I sprinted. I beat everyone in. I was ready to go, and it was 25 chest bars, 50
Gosh.
air squats, and then 100 air squats, 50 chest bars, and then 25 burpees or something like before that, and then you had to run another 400. So I was winning going into the air squats, and then I didn't even finish in the time cap on my 400-meter dash. So
Holy
and it was
crap,
like a
dude.
10 or 12 minute time cap, and,
Really?
Wow.
and I got capped.
And that was an individual. It
Yep.
wasn't split up in.
Yep. And I got
Wow.
that was my first like, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
like what am I getting myself into? Because
Yeah.
I could, when the game started there, if you could do handstand push-ups and if you could do a few bar muscle-ups, like you were good. If you could snatch
Yeah.
135, like I could do all that stuff. And then,
Dang.
that's what we drove.
'Cause you came out of that 400 meter like first.
Smoking. Oh yeah, it was
So
Wait, how far ahead were you, do you think?
great. Oh, a long ways.
Really?
Too far. Like
So
I
you were
was,
sprinting, and everybody else is just
yeah.
laughing at you for
Yeah.
like, look at this young kid.
Oh yeah, they had no
being
idea.
that guy.
I had no clue. And the next workout was like 10 minutes later, and I honestly thought I was gonna die. I couldn't jump on the bar. It was 12 box jumps, 10 deadlifts, and then like 9 hang cleans. And like hang cleans are my jam since we did in college. And
Yeah.
it took me 5 minutes to do one round. Like it was unbelievable. And then I got a better second win, but last place. I don't think I finished dead last, but I was pretty damn close.
Wow.
A lot of, in my mind, out of shape guys beat me, like pounded me.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you said you've been doing CrossFit for 2 years at that
I
point.
thought I was doing
thought
CrossFit.
you
You
were
thought I
CrossFit
was
for
doing
2
CrossFit.
years.
Yeah, thought I was getting the thing. Yeah, my idea of CrossFit was not.
Was not what it actually
No.
So
is.
that leads me into like, is that like a lot of CrossFit is the whole like strategizing, or is it, I mean you obviously have to be fit,
Right.
but like a lot of it is just learning the game, learning yourself, how to pace yourself, or is it like
Right. I think it's a little bit of both. I think the biggest thing you got to pay attention to, like a lot of people will get to let's back up. Before you start CrossFit, you have to understand what fitness is.
Right.
Okay.
So like fitness is like you guys had a pretty good idea of what fitness was with
Yeah.
Spartan races, but like CrossFit is a different level of fitness. If you
Yeah.
want to move up in like the ranks of like understanding what you can do, understanding your body, the mindset. You guys talk a lot about mindset,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like the bit, like they say, 9% of anything is mindset or
Right.
Yeah.
mind or mental capacity.
Right.
Is. And that was one thing I didn't know. Like I thought I was fit. I might have been fit to play basketball or football or something like that, but I was
Right.
not fit in regards to CrossFit. Like
Yeah.
you train for what you're training for, and I wasn't training for anything anymore, so I just was doing randomness and without
Right.
structure and without a foundation of understanding what fitness was. And then that's when I finally, Dolan and I, to back up a couple years before that, Dolan and I butted heads a lot because I was the alpha male that walked in. He already was the alpha male, granted. And we started banging heads pretty hard, and then that's how we both got into CrossFit pretty hard because we were doing it together. So
Wait, so back up a little bit now. I want to hear that
Yeah.
whole story. So Dolan, who is good friend, owner of the gym that we all do training at now, little backstory on him. That's who he is. So when you guys first met, tell us a little bit about that story. I come to hear all this. This sounds
So I
intriguing.
came in right out of football, and so I can't say what my mom called me, but it's just basically a football effer is what I was. I played football.
That was your life.
Yeah, that's all I knew.
Dang.
That's all I knew, banging heads and practice and meetings. Like that's just what life was and
Huh.
how. I mean, so I come in and we actually had a bunch of buddies of mine that aren't here anymore that we all came in and started working out. And there was like 7 of us at one time, so we go.
Where'd you guys work out at?
Granite.
Oh, yeah.
Straight down the road,
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'd work out there for like 2.5 hours a night.
Just a bunch of meatheads.
Oh yeah. We'd play basketball, and then we would,
Just a bunch of meatheads.
and then we go work out and do bench press, squat.
Right. Just getting down.
Oh yeah, just curls for days, and
Yeah.
and I was right after football. I got into P90X and
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pilates and all that stuff, which was that woke me up a lot real fast. But I'm trying to understand fitness. So like I was fit, like really fit. I thought.
Yeah.
So coming into it, and I Googled CrossFit, and all these guys doing bar muscle ups. So I'm like, oh, I want to do this stuff. And
Right.
Yeah.
watched the first or second CrossFit games online somehow, and kind of got into it. And that's when we started. I talked my friends into it, and got into it, and then Dolan was a trainer at Granite, and he's watching us, and pretty soon he comes up and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And like, you guys know Dolan.
It's
He
just
was
like Dolan too.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
yeah.
what are you you guys doing?
What are you guys doing over here?
Yeah, and
We guys doing like Metcons or something?
oh yeah, stupid stuff, thrusters and all that stuff, and he was like, "That's not how you train."
Yeah,
Like,
ingredient.
oh yeah, dropping bars, and he'd
I
always
could
be like,
just
"You guys
imagine.
can't." And so he was.
Do they even have like?
They have 2
bumper
platforms.
plates?
Yeah.
Oh, do they?
Huh.
So, yeah, so we're doing all this stuff, and he's talking to us, and he's pretty soon I invite him. I was like, "Dude, you want to come do a workout?" Yeah, come do a workout. So
That's awesome.
So and then after that, the rest is history. But man, we butted heads hard, and we went.
So did he do it with you guys?
Oh yeah, he dove in hard, and we went.
How was that
hard.
first workout for him?
Oh, brutal. Because Dolan was
Right.
like a 400-pound bencher, and like
Yeah.
Just a meathead.
oh man, like pushing stupid weight, and he started
Yeah.
doing this stuff, and yeah, it was funny. I loved it because I've been doing it for quite a while,
at that point.
and I understood kind of what it was, and he just went in head first. I think one of the first ones we did was sevens. Remember I told you guys what Hartsburg
Oh
was?
yeah.
Sevens.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And so I've done it a few times, so I kind of knew how bad it was. And he came out hot and heavy, and pretty soon he couldn't finish, and then like it was
That's
great.
awesome.
So that was kind of where, and then we became training partners at that point. So my buddies moved away because they were going to college and done finally. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, Dolan and I are Metcon, for 2.5 hours a day, 3 or 4 Metcons a day, just
That's
destroying
crazy.
our bodies. And I think that's probably why he's beat up a little more, because we were really irresponsible.
Yeah.
Like, he understood technique and he knows the foundation of the body, but to train it in a CrossFit way, we had no idea.
No idea.
We didn't know boo. We didn't know that you weren't supposed to.
Right, because at this point you guys were just kind of doing it, like
Yeah.
YouTubing it. And
Yeah, that's it.
Like
That literally.
None of you guys were
Just YouTube
certified CrossFit,
Nope.
right?
just
No.
YouTubing it and like workouts and then just getting out.
Yes, at 3, 4, 5 sometimes a time.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
yeah, it was dumb, so dumb. Like, looking back, it was that, especially the amount I train now. Like,
That's so wild.
if I knew more now, like, they always say if you knew more and you started, like, I'd be even farther than I am now.
Huh.
That's always how it is. And now you guys are at both writing programs. training
Yep.
stuff, classes.
Yeah,
and
that's
all that
wild.
stuff.
Yes, Dolan. Yeah, him and I, when we got certified together, I didn't pass my first test, and then
Really?
we had to go back and pass it again.
Gosh.
I got the worst of test, but we got her done, and
Been there.
we're going to here to get our level 2 in Casper here. in
Really?
Vermont.
God, that's sick.
Yeah, and then he became best friends, and he married Autumn and I, and the rest is
Oh,
history.
really? That's right on.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
He's a good dude.
Love it.
Good dude.
That's such a
Yeah,
good
he's
story.
Love that.
So that's kind of the story of how Dolan and I met, which is kind
Good.
of
Which is awesome.
right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so then from then on, it was just CrossFit.
Pretty much CrossFit. So I didn't really buy in. So let's back up to it. So I blew my knee out, my first knee, when I was a junior. Well, it was my senior year going into my senior year. I was playing the basketball tournament in Cascade and blew my left knee out really bad. I got a compound fracture in my femur, blasted my
Your
ACL.
femur?
Yeah, so 'cause I planted, did a spin move, and just smoked my femur into my leg.
Gosh, dude.
Blew my ACL, and I was done. And so like I was
You
getting
done
looked.
for the season?
And that's the stupid thing. So I was getting looked at like crazy for basketball once that
Yeah.
happened. Anything that was good went away. I still had a lot of frontier stuff. Football was still there just because. So I'm like the week after I tear it, I'm icing it and thinking, God, it was devastating. Because sports is my life.
Right.
Like that's literally all I had. I got something to talk about sports anyways in here in a little bit, but so found out I had broke my ACL, and immediately I told my dad, I'm like, I'm playing, and I was like, he's like, okay. He's like,
You were in high school.
Yep, going to my senior year.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm playing. So I played my full football season because we just got done playing a state championship the year
Yep.
before. So I played the full season, blew it out 5 or 6 different times. Playoff time, the worst one is first round of playoffs. I'm rolling out to the right, planted my left leg. The guy horse collared me. My knee stayed. My body went, and it just tore everything else out.
Gosh.
So tore everything else out. So that was my first one. Advice: never do that. And look at the camera. Don't play with the torn. Get it fixed. Life is
Yeah.
too short for the stuff that I deal with now.
Yeah.
Second one
Good word.
was the
Good word.
sophomore year, right when I moved to defensive college. Blew my right one out, and I literally was doing just one-on-one drills, just planted on a slant route, turned, and it went. No swelling, no pain, no nothing. It just popped,
Just pop.
and I knew it was gone. Yep. Third one was I was playing flag football in the end zone. One of the ex-outlaw guys ran a swirl route, and they were John Hard, and I was John Hard, and started both talking crap like crazy. And
Oh yeah.
he ran a swirl route, and I planted, and I felt it go right away, but I didn't let anyone know, so I had to finish the game with it torn. Couldn't cut, couldn't do anything. Knew it was gone. That one sucked. That was when Autumn and I kind of first got together. She got to experience my terrible misses with my knees torn.
Yeah.
I was
So,
still trying
so
to.
in,
can only
in this
imagine.
game, was it like
It was
immense
tied up.
pain?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
And the fourth one, so yeah, 4 times. Fourth one, I tore playing in an old man basketball tournament that we always play in. Denali, go lay down. Go. In Rosebud, Montana. So this old basketball tournament that we playing with a bunch of my buddies. Go lay down. And so we went and did that, and I tore it out for the 4th time. And so 4 ACLs. I have a screw through my femur. I have a hook on the outside of my knee, a screw through my tibia. I have metal screws to my old one. I have bone plugs at a different degree for the left one. I have the exact same thing on the right one.
Dang.
Mechanical knees.
Did you get flagged every
dude.
time you go through this?
Yeah, no, they don't pop, but they see it when I go through.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty gnarly.
Gosh.
Did they ever ask you about it?
No, I'd say some
Did
stuff.
you get like a little card or something from the doctor saying that I have
No.
this stuff? No.
No, the plate's not big enough.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's got to be a certain size.
So you tore both 4 times, both knees.
Twice on the left and twice on the right.
Oh, so it's
And I lost
identical.
80% of my meniscus on my left, and then the right one I didn't do as bad because I played on it. So new knees are coming my way.
Man with injuries right,
Right.
here. Gosh.
That's the only thing I ever did. I never.
So those were in high school.
Nope. I did 18, 21, 24, and then the last one was 31 was 28.
Wow.
So spread out pretty good.
Okay.
So 3 years ago.
Yep.
Wow.
3 years ago.
Dang.
Dang.
So that's my injury. I never broke a bone. I've never had
Really?
stitches. I've never.
That's it.
That's it. Four knees.
insane.
Yeah.
Freaking
Dang.
knees, dude.
Right. Dumb.
You don't need those in CrossFit anyway.
Yeah. Right.
What's
Nothing.
giving you
Right.
knees for?
I always have
Gosh.
people say, "How do you do this?" I'm like, "Actually, my knees feel better." Well, they do feel better, and depends on what cycle I'm in of training. But they feel better than I've ever felt in my life, just
Yeah.
because
That's wild.
mobility's there. You know,
That's
I'm
so
training
freaking wild.
the right muscles, the muscle groups
Yeah.
around it, learning about how to
Yeah.
train the knees themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Huh.
yeah, so that's there you go. I'll shut up now. That's kind of
No.
that's the rundown of my life of, but like sports in general. I was listening to a podcast the other day talking about like what are your biggest accomplishments in life?
Yeah.
And like I always go back to like what are my accomplishments in sports?
Yeah.
And so like you think of all these things, and I started thinking about it hard, and I started thinking, well, what are my 3 biggest accomplishments in my life? And you know, first thing I thought was sports, and then I was like, man, that's the wrong mindset to have.
Sure.
Like now it's like, you know, getting married to the most beautiful woman in the world, having
Right.
2 kids, you know,
Yep.
house, a job,
Yep.
you know, getting back into faith. Like those are the things that I feel most accomplished about.
Right.
CrossFit is great, but in the end, like we're here to do this to age 100. We're here to enjoy, you know, sweating together, you know,
Yep.
pain together. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I thought that was just a good point.
Well, and I think, like, one thing I noticed, when was it? We were doing the gymnastic class a while back.
Yeah.
And you hit it on it all the time of, like, fitness is to improve health for everyday activities,
Right.
not for, I mean, sure, people compete, and you can do that, and it's super fun
Yep.
Yeah.
and great, and it's going to grow you,
Absolutely.
but if it's not going to help you in your everyday life, if you want to, you know, go running, you tell the story actually of you were going to do the South Dakota games with North
The
Dakota.
Dakota Games.
Dakota
Dakota
games,
Yep.
and you decided not to, and I thought, and I had so much respect because you said when I couldn't run, you go
Okay,
with the
so
story.
we just got done. So my CrossFit world has come like I finally bought in. Let's say 2 years ago, and gave up. I don't play basketball anymore. I don't play football. Like I don't.
That was only
anything.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So,
Really?
So after my last knee surgery, so I guess
Wow.
3 years ago now. I guess
Sure.
this will be the 3rd year.
Yeah.
So I gave up everything. Like I don't play softball. I don't do anything. Even people ask me, like I just say no.
Yeah.
And that's one of the hardest things. I'm always a yes guy.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Like I'm
That's
always
hard.
saying yes. So I said no, and I refocused in the CrossFit. And as you can see, like I finished before, like 10,000th place, years before, like not even close. And
Yep.
this last year in the United States, I was top 1,000. And I think I was like 14 or 1,500 in the world. So I mean, made huge strides and jumps.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I'm way better than what I was
Right.
the last Open than now.
Right.
So I have goals of that.
Right.
I had all these small
Absolutely.
goals, but so that's kind of where the process started into me doing that, and then we got in. Justin, Luke, and I qualified for the Granite Games, and so I went from Open to qualifier to the Granite Games, which was intense.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It's
Like
a
I
big
learned a
comp.
lot. It was really
Yeah.
fun. We did decent at that, not as well as I wanted, but I actually want us to. We'll talk about that later. But anyways,
Yep.
So then I had to do another online competition for the Dakota Games.
Yep.
And the Dakota Games was like, it's one of those competitions where I knew looking at the guys that have won the last few years, like I'm right there. Like, they're not any better than me. You know, they have a couple lifts on better, a couple lifts on better than I. Like my mode, like where I was
Great
good.
comp. Yeah.
And I knew I could be one of my first individuals I've done, actually since the Pukey Bash. Actually.
Really?
Yeah. So 6 years ago.
First individual since then.
I've always just done teamwork. That's what we have in Montana, really.
Huh.
Yep.
And so I was talking to White, telling White about it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this. And she's like, just do it, man. Killing yourself, waking up and doing all this crazy. And she's like, all supportive and great. And then we were at the park with Luke and Jess and Eddie and chasing the kids around playing frisbee and soccer and stuff. And I went to chase after Amory, my oldest, and I literally couldn't. Like my Achilles, my knees, my ankles, my hips, are just like, nope. And I took 2 steps and stopped, and I was like,
it wasn't because of injuries, it was because you were sore?
just in general, like my body was just like, you know, this is ridiculous. And I came home and like I don't like my emotions. I'm emotional, but I don't like to show my emotions. I like to talk about it very much. That's not how I am. And I came home and I basically broke down. I said I can't do this. My body's beating me up, and and so I shut it down and backed out of the competition, which I've never quit anything in my life ever. So I had to shut it down after doing the first 2 qualifiers. And it was the best decision I think I've made in the last by far this year.
Yeah.
Because I feel way better. I took off a good week and a half of just maintenance recovery. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So that's kind of the story there.
Yeah,
Just
I love that.
had to reset and just humbled my pie.
Yeah.
That's,
Gosh, man.
Yeah.
It takes a lot.
So big in life, you know. Just I mean, in the gym and just in business, like anything, like you just gotta step inside the door, you know, let go of the ego, because.
You like that quote I put on the board? You guys saw that?
Yeah, that was good.
I
good.
like that.
I think a lot of people do this. Well, I think and in a few words as possible, I think I just said that, you know, when you walk into that door, let go of the ego of competing and just embrace the physical activity you're probably embrace. I mean, you're not competing against each other. We're competing against the barbell, the pull-up bar, the rower, whatever the challenge, the roof. Like if you're roofing or you're painting that, well, like the only thing you have in front of you is the task.
Right.
You can only control what you can control.
Yeah.
You can't control the person next to you, how fast they're going to go. You can't control, if the weather's going to be bad. You just got to take things as they come and
give it your best.
Exactly.
100%. So good.
Yeah,
so
I love
good.
that.
So true. Right on.
That's kind of I guess that's my kind of story, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good
that's
words.
wild.
In there. Good stuff.
Got a freaking journey, dude.
Love it.
There's a lot.
Yeah. I guess there was one question I was thinking of earlier, and it just goes along with all your injuries you talked about, and just that competition that you went hot out on, and then you like got last place, and just the idea of failure. And so I just wanted, maybe if you wanted to share a little bit of like, what's your outlook or perspective on failure, and how do you approach that, or how do you respond to failure?
So I guess you'd say, let's say a year ago, you asked me that same question, I probably have a different answer. I'm going to say, failure, I love it. Bring it on to me. Let's do this. Like what it does is shows me my weaknesses, and it gives me an opportunity to improve on something I'm bad at.
Yeah.
Now you ask me now, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good about everything. Now when I fail, it almost gets to the point where like there's an expectation for me to be so good at almost everything.
Yep.
So then like I know my body so well and how fast I can go on certain things that I can. We're talking about pacing. Like I can pace myself and be fine and go for 2-3 hours, whatever. I'm fine. And then I got called out the other day saying, why did you do this? Like you're satisfied with being where you're at now. How do you do that? So to answer your question about failure, like I didn't realize I was failing myself until someone gave me a different perspective from the outside, which I didn't even know I was doing this. Like
Interesting.
At a workout, I was doing something where it was a certain amount of time, and I knew how fast I could go and give myself plenty of time to rest and be fine. And then basically they called me out and said, "That's not how this works. You're supposed to kill yourself, fail, and then pick the pieces up after that."
Huh.
So failure now to me, once I get a perspective, and someone basically called me out on my I don't know what I call it, lack of intuitivity, whatever if that's even a word. Like I look at it as a growing moment. Like if you can't grow from failure, then why are we here?
Right.
Like if you're just consistently happy with being right here and you're never going to push that envelope, like every entrepreneur or someone great in everything they do, whether it's like in my own profession or family life like that, if you're not challenging yourself, then you're not pushing yourself to failure.
Yeah.
Like that's you're kind of doing yourself a disjustice at that point. But there is a flip side to that. Like you have to understand what your goals are in regards to life. Like you can't push yourself to a point of failure, and then have it cause something else in your life. Because we're we have pillars in life, right? We have like faith, fitness, family, and if you spend all your time on fitness, what's going to support the other pillars? If you're single-minded, and that's where I'm struggling, because I have my work, so I have 4. So I have my faith, then I got my fitness, and then I got my family, and then I got my work. Right. And so when I really focus on working out, one of the 3 are failing miserably. And trying to balance those is really hard. But to be overly exceptional at something, you have to be single-minded. So that's my biggest challenge right now. Is trying to figure out how do you balance everything. Like CrossFit, how do you be good at everything, but not be bad at something?
Yeah,
right.
exactly. That's exactly.
So I guess I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does.
That's a good word.
Insight. I never thought about it that way.
Well, because that's kind of something I had in mind anyway to kind of ask you ahead of time was I mean, you kind of spoke on it there, was how do you balance? So maybe you can expound on that a little bit. How do you balance that? I mean,
you're still figuring
you're
out.
still figuring it out, like anybody
All
else
of
in the
us,
world. I mean, I think we're gonna figure it out until the day we die, probably.
Right.
How do we balance life?
I think it probably depends on who you ask. If you ask our wives, they say they're probably like, well, they don't. Right.
Yeah,
but I think
some truth to that.
I heard Jocko. You guys heard of Jocko?
Yeah, I love Jocko.
So Jocko says that the day doesn't start at 4:30 in the morning unless you want it to. So if you start your day out at 4:30 in the morning, like you can't make phone calls, do emails, hang out with your family at that time of the day, because there's really nothing going on at that point. The only thing you have to worry about is not hitting your snooze button at 4 o'clock in the morning when you got to do that. So my biggest challenge right now is that I am training, coaching after class, trying to train as well after class, and family and school and sports and my daughter's trying to get into, like, all that stuff.
Right.
So me just trying to, I'm just gonna start saying no and just start balancing out to where I can still get my fitness in, because my fitness right now, I have a good couple years left for me that I'm really gonna give her a go. And then we'll see what happens. But the family and the faith thing, to be honest, the biggest thing that's failing me is my faith. Like not getting to church on Sundays because I'm tired.
Right.
Train in the morning.
That's a real thing.
2-3 times a day of training, especially on a weekend. I'd have 2.5 hours in the gym.
Yep.
That's the hard thing to do, but I don't know. In my opinion, you can have faith wherever you're at, as long as you're.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Every place has a different gym, I guess that's my excuse.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Different reasons for different things, I guess. Yeah, that's a good word, though.
But the balance, it's tough.
It's hard, dude.
I think it
I'm
depends
right
on the
there with you.
situation, depends
I'm
on
right there with you.
what's going on. I mean, but
So freaking hard, man.
I did like the Jocko thing. Like, if you're there in the morning, like you guys are there.
Yeah.
It's like when you're there in the morning, you're not missing out on anything.
Right.
Except for sleep.
Right. That's
But
literally the only thing.
like you guys' last video talking about recovery. And
Right.
Sleep is so
important. Gosh dang it.
Like, I'm happy if I get like 6.5, 7 hours.
Right.
Man, I'm jacked.
Gosh.
But like they're telling us we're supposed to get like 9.
Right.
And I'm like, I haven't seen 9 in like 9
No.
years.
Right.
Like it's been forever.
It's been a while.
Even when I was in college, I'd stay up too late,
Right.
partying, and then play football. Like,
Right.
It's just hard.
Yeah.
That makes it
That's why I love life. It's just like,
Trying to figure it out.
if it would all be like
That'd be boring.
this, exactly, it would be boring. Like,
Yeah, that's actually true.
and if like the Lord gave us like exact black and white things in the Bible, like it would be no relationship. It would
Yep.
be
No point.
Oh yeah, just do
I would
this.
think
this,
anyway.
this. Be perfect.
You guys have had some good.
It's not.
I was just doing my own research, listening to you guys. Your last 2 podcasts, you guys were talking about, faith and Jesus and other things about the same thing about
Right.
understanding. Like, you interpret it the way you can't interpret it to make it fit your life.
Right.
It was said a certain way so that that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, you can't just be like, take this piece out. Oh, this fits my life.
Right.
This fits my life.
Right.
I'm saved. Like,
Right.
no,
It's
it
true.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do that.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
even I thought about that. It's like, well, the church is the people, not a building. So, why do I need to go to church? Why do I need to go to church? Or why do I need to have small group, all these different things. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't just pull out of the Bible one certain thing for my life. So, but it's freaking hard, dude.
Yeah.
Like balancing life, I think is one of the hardest things
Yep.
in life. Is like how to balance it. Because I'm right there with you. Right? I mean, like I wish I could train 2 times a day.
I think it's ironic that you see somebody you think that has it all put together, and then you find out something later, and you're like, whoa, I didn't have anything put together.
Right.
You know, so.
That's true. That's actually a good word.
Yep.
And that's hard to do even in the gym. You know, you look at something, you like, kind of like the whole, like, put your pride at the door.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
like you look at so many other people and you're like, oh man, that guy's lifting that, or that guy's
Yep.
lifting that. You know, it's like, but you know, one thing to another. You know,
Goes back to that thing. You just gotta focus on what you can control.
Exactly.
Don't focus
Yeah.
on what you can't control.
it's
'cause
true.
You can't worry about how. You can't do anything if that guy's lifting 500 pounds. You gotta just work on yourself and get your lifts up or whatever it is. So.
You can get there. It just takes a long time.
Yeah.
So what are you training right now? Are you training two times a day?
So right now we're doing. Like I do most of the tail loss stuff as much as I can.
Okay.
Then we have a couple different programs that we're working on right
Right
now.
on.
But we do, like the things that are on schedule right now is Thursday mornings is our team workout. So
Nice.
I can tell you our goal. Our goal in 2 years we'd like to qualify for a sanctional co-ed
Heck yeah, dude.
tournament to try to make it.
Yeah.
It's gonna get pretty crazy because I don't know what's gonna happen next
Sure.
year. So like this
You never know.
this year might be the year. Like
Right.
we're not quite there yet. Like,
Right.
You know, we're trying to get people there and we're trying to get other people on board.
Yep.
It's just hard because with life change, like people are leaving, coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're busy with whatever it might be.
A
So
lot
just trying
happened
to
in 2 years. Gosh.
exactly. So
Hard.
to say that's why we're leaving it in a bigger
Yeah.
spectrum,
Right.
so that we have opportunity to where if people come in and want to join.
But it's
or-
still a goal.
right.
And that's what you need.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So we're training. Like me personally, I try to get doubles in 3 times a week, and then I do one day. It's a lighter day, and then the weekends when I'm here, I'm not hunting. I do a long session at the gym. You know, 2.5, 3 hours of.
Yep.
I get to work on individual stuff like I post on my overhead, single arm overhead
Love
squat.
it.
That's
I saw
took
that.
me.
It's good.
That you have no idea how hard that. Like I
What
was
weight was
How
that, by
heavy
the way?
was it?
70.
70.
70? Gosh.
So I couldn't
Yeah.
do 25, you know, a couple months ago. Like, so I just had to keep working it. But I was doing no one's around because I was embarrassed.
Right.
I was so embarrassed because
Yeah.
we just have a pink weight and I'm just like,
I love it.
so
That
yeah.
is awesome.
so that's kind of what the goal is, you know. Ideally, so we're
Yeah.
my plan. So I like to have plans. I don't want to tell a lot of my training partners stuff like this, but like this is our last week of super hard. We're gonna kind of let go a few things for a week.
Sure.
Hit it really hard again. We have a competition coming up in October. We're gonna hit that one. We're gonna be peaking at the right time,
That's sick.
Good.
Love
and
it.
then that's when the open starts. I'm not
Right.
sure what I'm gonna do in the open yet. I haven't decided because
How long does the open last again?
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
They say it's only 5 weeks, but it could be longer. We just
Right.
haven't
And how
tried.
many?
One workout a week.
Okay.
That's what that's the
So you have to do it in that week though.
right.
Okay.
Monday to Monday.
You
Yeah,
just, have, you
it's
just have 1 week to get it in at some point.
yes, and I love it. Like this year, my approach because I'm in our cycle we have right now is so good. Like we're getting a lot, and we're gonna start transitioning into like the more of the Metcon type thing, and like it's great, but the open just it's so mentally taxing, knowing that you have to do good. And, like you realistically for your body to handle, you're only supposed to go hard like once or twice a month.
Right.
Like balls to the wall, sweat
Yeah.
on the ground. That's all your body can handle.
Huh.
But the open, you're doing it for 5 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang.
You know, you're repeating a couple workouts. You're basically doing twice. Like it's just so hard. Like
Yeah.
Can you like if so week 1,
Mhm.
you do it Monday. You're like I did not like my time. Could you do it again
Yep.
Thursday?
Okay.
Gosh, so you
That's
got
what-
all week to just
yes.
do it as many times as you want.
Exactly.
But then, like, if you
Right.
don't, if you keep doing that, then the next week,
The distraction.
you know, so like.
For you that
it's
don't
gotta be
know,
so
John and
tough.
I have never done the open, so
You guys are in this year.
that's why
Yeah,
we're
we're
no
gonna-
idea.
I love the community when
shot.
it brings. It's so fun. Like it's a great thing.
I'm excited.
It's a good thing to do, and I mean, of course, I'm going to do it, but
Yeah.
I'm just going to try to go and relax. But every time I say that, my competitors just
Right.
get there, I'm just like, all right,
It's so true.
you know, you just want to be what you did last year. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be less participated this year because they're only taking the top 20 of the world,
Right.
right? So, and there's so many sanctions. There's 26 sanctions now where people can qualify. that
Yeah,
way,
so these
so-
people, yeah.
That's kind of the way to go.
So people are going to kind of spread things out because the open, it stresses out the most intense athletes,
Yeah.
like the ones that have been doing it forever.
Right.
It's
Right.
just stressful. So you don't know what's going to come. I mean, you have an idea, they have
Right.
formulas, weights, like
Yeah.
it could be completely different this year. So I don't know.
No idea.
It's hard for me being a big, like a tall. I'm a large CrossFit athlete, very large
Yeah.
CrossFit athlete compared to most.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't throw into the things that I'm really good at, like running,
Right.
odd object movement, like
that stuff.
Yeah.
rope climb, like that stuff.
What
like,
is your size compared to like Brent Fikowski or somebody? Do you know?
Brent's 6'1", and he's like 215, so we're pretty close.
And what are you?
6'2", like 210.
Oh, really? So you're wow.
But he's an anomaly. Like
Yeah.
they don't make him.
No.
Like I got to see him. He looks way bigger than 215 when he's going against. He's like
Really?
this.
Really?
Like, he's this wide, but he's
Because
this
he looks
thick.
he looks kind of skinny.
Oh
Yeah, he
no,
does.
he is dense.
Because literally, like when I first saw Brent like on a video or whatever, I was just like, everybody else looks so much bigger than him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but you see
He
him
just
person.
looks like a runner almost.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that I said the same thing. I thought the same thing. I was like,
Yeah.
man, that looks like that. So we took a
Wow.
picture by Ben Smith and like some of those guys, and
Yeah.
Ben, Luke is 5'6".
Right.
We'll give him maybe 5'7", like,
Yeah.
and Ben's like maybe a half inch taller than him, and then I'm like
Way up
7
there.
inches taller, and he's like the perfect size for a CrossFit.
Yeah.
He is.
So,
Yeah.
and that's what's hard is that
Yeah.
there is a perfect size. That 5'9",
Right.
200, 195 to 200 is that magic. Kind of magic.
Gymnastics and
Yeah.
those movements is so much easier.
I mean, you look at the top 10 in the final this year;
Right.
they all were the same size,
Oh, yeah.
same
Yeah,
build.
that's
like,
true.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kind of going back with the team workouts and everything, do you find it more difficult to, well, I guess you said your last individual was 6 years ago, so it's been a while. But is training as a team and doing team events, do you find more difficult than individual? Because you're working with 3 or 4, well, usually it's 3 or 2, I guess, depends, 3 or 4 team.
Right.
Or do you find it to be actually easier? Like, what's the difference there?
I think training, it's easier to train with people
Sure.
because you can
Of course.
feel off them. You can really get amped up for them.
Builds energy. Yeah.
When you're in competition, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because being an individual, I think that's why it's important for people to get into individual stuff, and that's why I really want to do that Dakota Games because it's been really good for me.
Right.
Like you don't know, even if you train, unless you train with someone every single day, you don't know their tells.
Right.
You don't know when they're dead,
Yeah.
and they cannot do anything more. And so that's where my biggest struggle was with the
Huh.
last team competition because I didn't know how much I was supposed to do
Sure.
and still leave some for them.
Sure.
Like
Yep.
so, and we talked. We drove, so we had like a 20-hour drive.
Right.
And that was one of the biggest things we talked about. Like we didn't know where to say, hey, stop, or go all out and just completely like you're doing it individually and just give everything,
Yeah.
or save some like that. So that was super challenging. And I still don't think we don't know it all. But
Right.
I don't know.
And is it hard to communicate in those moments?
Yes.
Like, hey, I can't
Very
can't
much.
go. Like,
Yeah.
go.
Because everyone
you
has
can't really do
pride. I think if you watch, so a great example is like
Sure.
May and Freedom. So like
Yeah.
Froning trains with those athletes
Yep.
year round.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so like he knows, like he can see, and he's so
And
fit.
it showed.
Exactly.
Right.
But like so you have a lot of interest. So like for instance that burden run or the huck run or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Yep.
So like they had weights that they could distribute however they wanted. And so like when you have all these super teams, you have all these individual studs.
Yeah.
And they're all like, oh, give me my weight. I
Right.
can do this, give me the weight. But like they were like, no, you're a bad runner. You don't get any weight. You're a good runner. You get all the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like that's talk about humbling your pie
Yeah.
and leaving your ego at the
Yep.
door. Like
Interesting. Yeah.
that's all egos. When you have like people like sports, you got like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James,
Right.
Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and they're sitting there talking about sports. Who's gonna win? No, they're
Yeah.
all alpha males.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just tough to,
Huh.
and so trying to figure out. So what you have to do is you have to force yourself into pain
Right.
with that person and see how they handle it. So I mean, to answer your question, like individually training, you can force yourself into as much pain as you want, and
Right.
it's not fun.
Sure.
Right.
But when you do it with someone else, it's fun.
Right.
Like I love
Way
making
more
people
fun.
hurt. I personally
yeah.
love making people
That's
hurt.
why you're coach.
Yeah, probably my favorite thing. My wife hates it,
Oh,
'cause
man.
but yeah. But I don't know.
That's funny.
This to answer your question, I think
Yeah.
like training, I think it's easier in teams,
Yeah.
but competing, I think it's easier individually.
Individual. I can see that.
Huh.
Yep.
Less communication needing to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
fair. Huh.
Yeah.
Do you think you're coachable for the rest of your life? Or for a while?
I don't know. I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've always said is like once you find something you really love, and if it becomes your sole income or what you rely on, I think you lose some of the drive and some of the
Yeah.
the majestic feel of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely think I'm gonna coach for a long time.
Yeah.
So I know so a lot of people don't know this. It's probably news. Here's a little FYI. So I know I have a couple years left, like
Yeah.
a good 2,
Right.
to be
That's
realistic,
nothing.
right? And so like I'm gonna go really hard, and then like age 35, there's a chance I could go like really give it a go. But like my goal is I want to step back and go into more of a coaching role and get like you guys coached up and be like, okay, now I can give everything that I was giving myself to you guys and just turn it on that way, because I feel like that's might be where I have my most success as an athlete, is living vicariously through other athletes.
Yeah. Wow.
Just because and it doesn't bug me that I personally couldn't do it, because if I can get other people to do it, then
well, I think it's a huge thing.
I mean, I know I've learned a lot from you already, so you improved my butterfly pull-ups and all that stuff. So.
Well, I think it's a huge thing as a leader in general, is loving to see other people succeed.
Yeah.
You see so many athletes, and they'll try and tear down at people or other athletes or whatever, just because they don't like to see other people succeed, because they want to succeed.
They want,
But like, huge thing as a leader in general is loving to see other people succeed.
Yeah.
And that shows.
You got to be competitive. Like,
Yeah.
when it's in the moment, you don't care. Like,
Sure.
if they trip and fall and you win, like that's the game.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
But while you're training and you want the person that you're training with to do better.
Right.
So like when someone tells me they beat one of the lifts that I had, I'm like, yes.
Frick yeah.
Right.
So that means that, like, that gives me a mark to be like, okay, because it's hard to
yeah.
beat your own mark. Like, it's so hard. Like,
So hard.
realistically, when you hit a certain point, like 5 pounds in a year is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about those big time lifters, like, but if they're lifting against someone else, or here's a perfect example, the hurdles this year in the U.S. hurdles had the 2 fastest we broke under like 12 seconds for the first time in like 40 years or something like that.
That's wild.
And it was 2 guys that were, and the only way that he was going to break that record was to have someone push him. So like if you don't have that person that's constantly one-upping you in life or working out, like that's what's good. You guys have your brothers come back,
right?
Like, and you have to have training partners that have to push you into those things, because otherwise you get stagnant.
Yeah.
And that's where I got called out on. Cause,
Right.
I mean that's why I just got to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's why CrossFit in general is such like a bonus.
Yeah.
You know, it's just so huge. It's because you got that community, you
Right.
got that competitive side of things.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I'm gonna go, do a bicep pump by myself, put my
But you're
headphones
fun.
in.
Yeah,
It's totally
fun.
fun, but it's like,
It does nothing.
what's it gonna do?
Exactly.
Like, I love bicep pumps, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Who doesn't like some bicep pumps?
But even that, it's better to do with someone else too, because you're like,
absolutely.
my bicep's bigger than your bicep,
Yes.
whatever.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
So, I think I've been seeing that more with CrossFit too. Like people just trying to match up. Like Noah Olson just shouted out like, "Hey, who wants to come train with me?" Like people are trying to match up with people to up their game. I mean,
well,
Matt Fraser,
Tia
Toomey, like number 1 male female,
Train
they
together.
train together. So
Brilliant.
You could tell.
like
They were
there you
just
go.
another level. Everyone said
That was so fun to watch.
Oh, it was
Gosh.
great. It was fun for the theatrics, but like Fraser by far was the superior athlete.
Yeah.
I don't care what everyone says. I don't care what everyone says. Like if he doesn't get that penalty, like it's not
Oh,
even
yeah.
close.
Yeah.
He wins by a couple 200 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to an interview about that Emily that he got on that run. It was just like, well, so many people were giving him crap for it, but it's like, how is he gonna know? You're running. You're just about to the finish line.
Yeah, you're 30 seconds left in your workout. You don't know anything.
You don't know
You're
anything.
blacked out. You're
heard.
Oh,
You maybe heard or felt something, but you're not gonna stop. I mean,
that's why you have to have judges when you count, because you can't count. When you're tired, you can't count.
Right. Yeah. No.
There's no way you're counting at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No. That's insane.
Love it.
Do you feel like your growth does come through like training with other people then a lot?
I think it does, but I get a lot out by myself.
Yeah. You're self-motivated.
Yeah, very
Sure.
self-motivated. I like to make myself hurt. I have to really get myself going to make myself hurt, but I don't know. I've always been very motivated. That's just kind of been my personality my whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the guy that I'd go to the gym and shoot for a couple hours before the game and after the game, just because that's what I love to do.
Right.
So those are my vices. That's why my wife is finally, it took her a while, but she understands, like, if I don't have those vices, I'm not out drinking, I'm not doing anything else. Like, I'm at the gym.
Right.
And that's something that helps you become a better husband, father, man. Like, so
Leader.
leader.
As long as I keep it within reason. As long as I'm not
Right,
up for 3-4 hours. It's just, what do you do at the gym? Like,
balance.
So the post that you posted the other day, and then her comment was, "Does that mean you're coming home soon?" I was like, "Oh, that's so priceless." I love it. Oh my gosh.
But I think we need that. I mean, as humans, we need something that we can go to and we come alive, so we can go back into our workplace, our family, our communities, and be better. As long as, again, it's always balanced, but like we need to have some kind of hobby,
Something.
gym, hunting, whatever it is, fishing,
Yep.
sports, whatever it is. You need to have something outside of your even family
Right.
activities.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I
there's
love
got to be
that.
separation. I think that's when it comes to like in general, the pillars in general have to have. You have to have those vices in each pillar. So,
Right.
I mean, I love spending time with my family, but that's it. I love doing fitness.
Right.
Love going to church. Like those things are just things that
Most
you got to make
important
sure you
needs.
balance it, and it's hard.
Right.
Yep.
That's what come right back to it. It is
Come back to
in
balance,
general.
right?
In general, it is
Right.
hard. Yeah, it's good.
That's wild.
Good stuff.
So, as an insurance agent, what does that look like? Is that kind of just your typical?
It's you see a lot of stuff, but so my job is to write business, so it allows me to be competitive every day. So
Really?
I'm constantly competing for people's business.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm good at what I do. Because I'm trying to win people over off my personality.
Sure.
I don't promise.
I was sold when I met you.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So I try to be as brutally honest as possible, and it's probably one of my flaws as well, is because I'm a little crude than I probably should be. But
Right. Yeah.
I'd much rather shoot you straight than say, oh yeah, I got this magical product. Like, no,
Right.
I don't. Like,
No.
This is what it is. I'll be here if you got problems. That's kind of what I sell. But in general, it's just good. Like understanding that I'm trying to, like, it's a necessity that everyone has to have. People don't like to talk to me, but I want to bridge the gap to where they enjoy having a conversation with me. Where,
Right. Yeah.
the best test is they'll say get in a car for 4 hours and see if you can stand them for 4 hours. Like, I want to be where, like, every person I come in contact with, like, I could sit in a car with them and have a conversation for maybe not 4 hours, but for a couple hours.
Sure.
It wouldn't be a waste of their time. So
Right.
that's what I try to
that's
do. And
awesome.
then my grandfather was a farmer's agent for 50 years, and then
Really? Wow.
he actually bought the building from my boss. So, like, we kind of have a lineage that's tied together, which
Wow.
is kind of cool. And then
Yeah.
and so learned a lot from him. He's a go-getter like crazy, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen in the future, but
Sure.
I'm good at it.
CrossFit
And-
games.
Yeah. It'd be fun. I mean, I'm definitely going to give her a good go. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Why not, man?
Might be when I'm 35 or so, but
Masters.
Why not?
there you go.
Got the
Because
masters.
I'm old, 31 now.
Right?
I mean, a
Dang it.
couple years ago, if I would have bought in sooner, before my fourth ACL,
Right.
I probably wouldn't have had that fourth ACL, but
Right.
yeah, lots to go.
So even in that, so you said you probably wouldn't have had your fourth ACL, or if you were in CrossFit and sold out before. So you'd be on the side of, hey, CrossFit will, fitness in general, but CrossFit will help help prevent injuries.
Absolutely. Because my body had been better prepared. I wouldn't have been trying to do more than I should have. I was super fit and everything, but, like, in general, like, life, and you start doing stuff and you stretch, like, so we'll say the way it happened, you get a bad night's sleep. I was out
Yeah.
drinking more than I probably should have.
Yep.
Wake up and try to play 3 games.
Right.
Like, if you're doing CrossFit, you don't do that.
No.
You do one workout for an hour, and then you hang out.
Right.
You're spent. Like, you don't have the energy to do that. You spend time with your family. Like, that's what I like about the fitness in general, is that it's a platform of life, rather than, oh, we can play basketball for 4 hours in a day.
Right.
I love basketball. Like, it's still my passion.
Sure.
That was my advice. I'd just go shoot hoops for an hour and I was good.
That's it.
But now I go throw a barbell around. Like, that's what
Yeah.
I had to train for it, which
Yeah.
took some time.
Right.
Love it.
Well,
Kind of winding down here.
yeah, it's winding down here. It's probably way past our time here.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask one last question. Maybe we just wrap up with
I
this
might have
one.
the last question, Jay.
Is
but-
well, what would be like some, like a tip or just like a word to someone that is kind of like on the fence or maybe thinking about starting a healthy lifestyle, wanting to
Oh,
join
yeah.
a gym, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's any other gym, like, and you're a trainer, what would you kind of like say? Because I know like there's a lot of people like, just like, oh, I want, what gym should I, I'm thinking about it. New Year's coming around. I want to be healthier. I want to
Resolutions.
lose
New
weight,
Year's resolutions,
all that
come
kind
on.
of thing. But like, there's a lot of, I think, stress out there. People like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I do cardio? Should I lift weights? All that.
think-
So what's something that you would say? Just like,
Well, I mean, I'm going to be a little biased. I think CrossFit in general
yeah,
is good. Like,
Right.
because you get all the modalities. You get the strength, the endurance, the agility, the mobility, all that stuff that comes
Yep.
with it. But it is hard. So, like, if someone that say they have bad back or
Yeah.
bad knees or something like that, like, maybe their best bet is to do like a fit body boot camp or like a 9 rounds or like a granite trainer, but like it takes a very rare person to consistently get to the gym by themselves.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
So global gyms, no offense to global gyms, like their goal is to have people sign up for get that memberships.
Yep.
Like you buy a gym at.
It's all about
Planet
it's all about
Fitness.
money.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I think you kind of have to.
Fitness is $10.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They want you to forget about that because it's something you're not going to. But
Right.
so like I think the biggest thing is first thing I would say is just jump. Like that's all it takes for most things is just jump and get into some kind of routine. So whether it's you wake up at 6 a.m. and you do 10 push-ups, 10 squats, 10 sit-ups for 5 rounds, and do that and see if you can do that for 30 days. So once you implement something for 30 days, for the most part, it's going to stick pretty consistently.
Sure.
Once you get good at that, and you say, all right, I need more, then go test out gyms. They'll give you week passes and use them. When I first moved here, I went to every gym for a week for free and tried everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
I tried all the classes. I found out what I did. I found out what I didn't like.
it.
I found out what I did like. And the crazy thing with social media now, you can find everything online. You can make a home gym.
There.
I prefer not to work out at home because
I hate it.
you have distractions.
Oh gosh, I hate it. I can't
Like
do it.
you'd be working out in the garage and you're like, man, I need to fix that spot. So like you'll stop and you
Squirrel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Your mindset's not there. So,
No.
but then the other thing I would give people advice is find someone that can help you. Work out with someone that has the same goal as you.
Yep.
And then the third thing is don't swallow your pride. Don't care what you look like.
Right.
When you're at the gym, no one's judging. And if they are, you're at the wrong gym.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
true.
truth.
So like, I mean, you guys talked about this in sitting with taking shirts off, stuff like that.
Right.
No one cares. Like
Yeah.
while you're working out and dying, like no one
one
realized you took
freaking
your shirt
cares.
off, or what you look like. If you have butt sweat or if you leave, like no one cares.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And if they
Because
do,
everybody's dying.
exactly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you don't have to die. I mean, you just gotta stay fit, stay get.
Sure.
As long as the blood's flowing.
Right.
There's an old timer at Granite that was 90. God, I think he even died at the gym. That's bad to say, but
Gosh.
but he said it. He told me all the time. He was just like, once you stop, you die. As soon as you hit the the hospital floor, or you end up in that bed at the hospital, you're done.
You're done.
That's because you stop moving.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't matter
That's
what
good
you do.
move.
He would just come in. Wouldn't do anything. He'd walk on the treadmill, do a couple curls, but him just walking around the gym was enough to keep his blood flowing. He lived to like 105,
Yeah. Dang.
Crazy.
and it was healthy. You wouldn't know he was that old.
Sure.
So I mean, those three things. Just start. You gotta start anything, whether it's one thing or not. And then 2, find someone you can train with. And then 3, get comfortable with your gym. You gotta take complete perception out of it and just be focused. When you put your headphones in and you're like, this is my task, get on a program, go to bodybuilder.com or whatever you want, or crossfit.com, or it doesn't matter. And just do it.
Do something.
Yeah. Talk to someone that knows about it, or if you think they know about it. Exactly.
Love it.
Those are
That's
the
so good.
three things that I would
That's
say.
so good.
I love it. I have one other thing, kind of
Right
to
on.
wrap it up with. As an individual, what is a legacy that you would like to carry on? Like, what do you want to be remembered by?
That's a great question. So I've been asked this question before, and I talk about this a lot
Yeah.
in my job.
Love
So like, legacy to me is probably one of the most important things. So like, one of my people that I look up to most is one of my grandfathers, who has a legacy of being a hard worker. And he always told me, this is kind of work related, but you have 365 days out of a year. That means that every person that you insure should have 1 day of your time. So to lead into like my personal life, like my legacy I want to leave is when all said and done, the ground, the dirt is thrown on top of me, and all my PRs and all my frame times are gone. No one gives a shit about any of that stuff. Like, I don't care about any of that stuff. I think what I want them to say is, I want them to say, you know what, he worked hard, he loved his family, and every time that he was focusing or talking to someone, he truly engaged that person and like to the soul. Like I love my eyes. It's vain, but my daughter's got my eyes, so like I love my daughter's eyes.
Right.
Like I try to truly engage someone and look them in the eyes and say, you know what, and if I just gave that one person just 5 minutes of the day and it made them feel good, like that's what I want. Because I always think about, like, what if I die? How many people would come to my funeral? Like,
Right.
I don't know, maybe none.
Right.
Maybe I was a dick and no one ever told me. But but if I
happen, but yeah.
but if I can truly do that, like if I like I said, work hard, love my family, and then like financially I'm take care of that, but that's a different story. But like the things like feels, the intangible things,
Right.
So
Love
love
those around you.
exactly. love,
Gosh,
faith.
love it.
I think that's probably that's a good question, but
Yeah.
I love that
I
question.
love
That's
it.
so good.
I love that.
Legacies are huge. Like I want that little one right there to
It's just freaking cute.
tell like their kids about me
Yeah.
about some things that we did. So
Yeah.
making sure that you have those experiences with family that
Wild.
Yeah.
Dude, we could talk for hours,
Yeah.
but
Literally.
wind it down. One, because you can't see us anymore, probably. And
So
two,
good.
'cause
It's been awesome.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man.
drink's gone.
Appreciate you hanging
I
out.
know.
Yeah,
Chatting.
thanks for hanging out,
Learned a lot.
doing
It's
this,
been good.
you know, spending some time with us.
Yeah, for sure. I like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So,
Love it.
all right.
We're just wrapping up, baby. Okay. All right, close the door. I'm coming. I guess that's a wrap.
Right,
There it is.
that's a wrap. There it is. All right,
said
thanks
it.
guys for checking us out and just hanging out with Darrell, Seth, and I. We love hanging out and doing interviews with different people. We'll have different people on different shows, different times, kind of different months and days coming along. Otherwise, stay flexy.
That's it.
Always stay flexy.
Right on.
Always. And
Out.
we'll see you next time, next Friday. Keep it real.
Sweet.
Thanks, brother.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
No
It's
problem.
fun. Dude, I can talk all day.
So good.
Yeah, for sure.